Hey, this is Louis D. Fresh bringing it to you on a Saturday morning. I hope you are doing well. Today's YouTube video on your fish portion of your YouTube video is not about a fish at all. It's a little storytelling time, so I'm going to tell a little story. Something that I didn't expect, and sometimes that's life. You kind of let things happen and let the universe send you signals on things. And so, I'm sitting down for a reason, and I'm showing you something, a little preview there. On December 8th of 2024, this is January 18th of 2025, will air tomorrow, January 19th, 2025. There was my wife's birthday was December 8th, and so we were sitting having some lunch, and my neighbor next door, nice people, really nicest people, I have a couple of kids and, nice people. And they came by and knocked on the door. And then they had a little animal with them. And the little animal, they thought was a turtle. And I thought was a turtle. But they told me to try to put it next to the lake. That lake right over there. And it didn't, I had to press the right button. And it wasn't. So we found out that it was a tortoise. So because it clearly didn't want to go in the water. So I went over to the pet supermarket. Because, we want to keep it. It was my wife's birthday. I was like, it might be a sign from the universe. So I put it in a blue basket, took it to Pet Supermarket, which is one of the local chains here. Our three main chain stores here in South Florida are Petco, PetSmart, and Pet Supermarket. There's a bunch of mom and pop shops, which I've spoken about and I've done videos on. But they know me well at Pet Supermarket. Henry, the manager. Now, remember what I'm saying. This is a little theme. It takes a tortoise to raise a village, So Henry, the wonderful guy in Pet Supermarket, said, "Oh, no, it's a Russian tortoise. Like, it looks like it." And I was like, because I've seen Russian tortoises there. I was like, "There's a Russian tortoise." I said, "I have nothing for this guy." I said, "Should I get a fish tank?" I was like, "Maybe a big old fish tank." No, because remember, here I live in a subtropical climate. And so a good, I would say 8 months out of the year, 6 months out of the year, to be safe, it's 90 degrees or better. 6 months out of 90 Fahrenheit. And so he said, I might cook him because he's a land guy, and you have the greenhouse effect. I was like, but what could I do for the time being? So I was like, he had a spare fish tank that he uses for his reptiles when he changes stuff, bedding and all that. And so I was like, oh, okay. And so what we did, he gave me the a fish tank for temporary use. So if you look back on my archives around December 10th, December 11th, on my social media, I introduced this tortoise, in the Russian tortoise, and we named it Fabiana, what have you. So I'm telling you all that. And then so we had a big dish, and it's like that dish wasn't working for food and the water because she's not that big, but she was like, I don't know what to do with it, the tortoise. So I said, this is temporary, so what am I going to do? So again, it takes a village to raise a tortoise. They told me in Pet Supermarket, look at Amazon, see if you can find some type of housing for a tortoise, see what gets good reviews and what have you, and being that it's going to be outside, ergo outside. And so I said, let's see. So then I found one that was a little expensive, I can't lie. Not the housing itself, but the shipping. The shipping was $60 US, which I was like, but nevertheless, so I said, we're going to keep it. We're going to do this right. And so this is, again, a Louis D. Fresh perspective on this Russian tortoise, which is not really a Russian tortoise. But so then I had my man, William, speaking of having a village raising a tortoise, he came by, and because he usually paints the stands of those fish tanks that you see back there because they get rusty. Like today's a warm day here in South Florida, even though it's wintertime. It's going to go up to the low 80s Fahrenheit, and the humidity is high. So if we don't have, if he doesn't come by like every month or every couple of months, those things will rust, and those fish tanks will end up on the floor. So he came by, and I said, look, I'm being honest. If I put that box together, it's gonna look like a dinosaur. I said, I'm not very handy. I know that. So William says, sure, I'll put it together. So he put it together. And when he put it together, I'll show you the thing in a second. and we put it together. He said, you know, that, you know, it's, we were kind of examining it and saying like, oh, it looks good so far. We're going to paint it in the future. So, you know, so it doesn't get all, even though it's wood, so it does, so it protects against the humidity. The humidity here is ridiculous. So getting to, if you look at my thumbnail, it says a red-footed tortoise. So getting back to raising a village raising a tortoise, we have my man Andy de Junco. Look him up on YouTube, Andy, D-E, I keep the capital J-U-N-C-O, Andy de Junco. I don't think he's posted in a while, but he's a really nice gentleman. He's a young kid in my eyes. Really, really nice guy. Very humble, very, very, very good guy. And he raises these tortoises. I'm like, oh, it's a Russian tortoise for sure. He said it's a red-footed tortoise. And I was kind of happy it was, because I looked up a Russian tortoise and they're mainly desert tortoises. And this is not a desert. This is very much a subtropical, wet, kind of like it poured last night, or like wet kind of climate. So a red-footed tortoise does indeed tolerate this whole wetness. And so, and he was telling me different things I should feed it and what have you. I didn't bring out all my equipment. Like I said, well, this is just an introduction, a Louis D. Fresh intro. And I wanted to show you a little bit about Fabiana, the red-footed tortoise. I wanted to continue here. You see here, like I said, these turtles hopefully will be going out here this calendar year, get a pond going. So this will become African cichlids. This will stay the same, and you know, my little my Libera tank there. But I had a whole bunch of plants here, right across. And so I said I got to do something where I could put it. And we talked about it, William and I. Again, it takes a village to raise a tortoise. I said, what are we gonna do? So right now it was winter time. We're talking about December, end of December, beginning of January. No, it must have been the end of December. How am I gonna put it where, you know, it rains, we get these ridiculous whatever summers, how are we gonna, and he said, but he needs sun. I was like, all right. So what we decided, and this was again William helping me out, because right now it does get chilly. Like it has gone down to the mid 40s Fahrenheit, which is a bit chilly, because I looked them up. They usually tolerate better. Well, I'm not going to show you yet. They tolerate more of a warm climate. So with that said, when it goes down to the upper 50s or below, I have this lamp. You see there's a connect. You see it's still wet. Look at it right there. It poured last night. And so what we did, this comes with it. And I'm going to keep this on here. I'm going to have him paint this as well. But I'm going to keep this on. But when it's summertime, I'm going to take the lamp and I'm going to save it, because the wind, I mean, it's not the sturdiest thing on planet Earth. And so I'm going to definitely take this in. But also, see, this is, again, Louis D. Fresh intro. When it gets cold, I want you to see if you can see it. You see how there's a red light? There's a red light. That's a heating lamp. It's about 100 watts. Let me turn it off so you can see. 100 watts, right? And it actually will heat inside here as well. You see the inside there? It'll turn off. You see? And that helps to keep her warm. So that's why I have this lamp here. And that's why is it red? Is it because Henry told me that they really can't see red. And it's really warm. I put my hand in it. It's really warm. So all that said, so I said, what am I going to do? So I kind of pushed this aside. I have this turtle here, which I'm going to actually get rid of in the summertime, because the wind is ridiculous here in the summer. So I'm going to take it off. I'll put it here by my hose. What's kind of cool about this little enclosure is that I put my pinky here. It has a little stick here that I could push up, and this also has a little thingy that I can push up. And I have this red-footed tortoise here. Oh, her name is Fabiana. I think it's a red-footed. Well, he says it's a red-footed tortoise. I think it's a girl, because we look at the back, and I'm not trying to be funny. It's a stubby tail, it's a rounded back behind, as it were, and you see there almost like little red spot. I don't want her biting me. Red spots there, kind of thing. She's young. Andy de Junco told me she's about a year and a half, 2 years old. And one of the people at another pet supermarket I don't even know her name, to be honest. She told me that they dig a lot, and so that's probably what happened, because it's clear it was somebody's pet, because she's pretty docile, and so therefore we just kind of we kept her. So I decided, I'll put her back here. This is her bedroom, to say the very least. You say, well, this bark here, which again we'll talk about. I have forever and a day. We'll do little things on. This is just an introduction. This is called Repti bark. It holds the moisture well. I'm gonna clean it next week. I'm gonna change it every month. I use this moss. As weird as this sounds, this is all by Fluker. I don't think this is by Zoomed. This is by Fluker. She uses this actually like a little blanket. I'm like a little cozy thing. And she's kind of getting upset because I'm messing up her blanket. And she'll kind of go under it when it gets cold out. This is kind of funny over here. This little thing this is malleable. It moves around. I can make it bigger, smaller. I had it flush here. Flush. But then she moved it. She flipped over. She's like, I don't like it there. So she likes it more or less here. And if she doesn't like there, she'll actually move it around. She'll like to hang out there. Again, she uses this moss. It's not real moss. Not real moss, but she'll use it as a blanket. And then she loves these dishes. She picked this up real quick. I know, I'm talking about you. She used it real quick. She's not mad, she's that. And I use lettuce that I get from Whole Foods. She likes the organic kind. Put some water. Actually uses this to bathe. She'll go on top of it. I've noticed it. And she likes to bathe in it, and she likes to soak in it. And then this is Fluker's Tortoise Buffet Blend, which we'll talk about some other day. But again, this is just an introduction. And these are things that she uses. And again, this is probably, I'll tell you right now, thinking is bad for my health, about 1.5 inches deep. So she loves this stuff, and she'll hide under here. And hopefully hopefully she won't get too much bigger, but I'm afraid that she will. If you ever look up a red-footed tortoise, they're about 4 times this size. So I'm hoping by the size of this enclosure that she doesn't get too big, because I'm going to try to show you my neighbor's tortoise. I don't know what kind of tortoise it is, but you'll see how big they get. I'm hoping that maybe she has grown. I can't lie, since we've gotten her. Hopefully she won't grow too big. Hopefully maybe she'll just double in size. You can see that opening is big. So I'm hoping she doesn't get too big, but I'm afraid that she might. I'm going to kind of take a walk with you so I can maybe show you what I'm talking about, how big some of these guys get. Again, my neighbor next door, not the one that gave me the tortoise, the one next door. Really nice gentleman. Like I said, I try to treat people the way I want to be treated. So I really don't feel upset about walking over here. No, he's actually, I can see the tortoise from here. The tortoise is actually in its home. I think it's cool. And you see them, these are the ducks. Well, I can show you who these people are. This is Max, my neighbor's dog. Very nice dog. I wanted to show you. See, this is my neighbor's setup. Right over here, he has some water here. He has some food, some lettuce. Again, I don't know what kind of tortoise this is, but you can see that's a big old tortoise right there. You see how big? I'm hoping my tortoise doesn't get that big. That's a huge tortoise. I love it. He looks like a dog in there. He's like, yes, can I help you? And he fits just right in there. And so you see it's a big enclosure. Give me a little more so you can see how big he is. I mean, the video doesn't do it justice. It's a huge tortoise. And also he has canaries and parakeets in there. And I'm very humbled that Max doesn't bark at me anymore. Right, Max? I know. So I just wanted to show you that. And these are my feathery friends here. And I have to give you another tour of the lake. Nothing dramatic has changed with the lake, but I still have to do a little video on the lake. So that is a quick introduction to Fabiana, the red-footed tortoise. Like I said, we'll talk more about the bedding as I learn more about it. We'll learn more about the food. Tell you, because I've been creating a playlist, red-footed tortoise. I know it's not fish. I know it's not turtles. But sometimes the universe brings you blessings, and you have to take advantage of those blessings. And that's what the red-footed tortoise is. It's a blessing. We've had her now a month and 10 days. She's doing great. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's why I created a playlist. And I hope you enjoyed my introduction to Fabiana, the red-footed tortoise.